What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to the channel. 2024 has an abundance of movies coming out, and a bunch of those are looking like scary horror movies. And today we're doing exactly that. We're talking and breaking down my most anticipated horror movies for 2024. Got Jordan Peele returning, Leigh Whannell returning, Chris Stuckman's feature film debut. There's so many to talk about. We're about to hop into it. Before we do, let me know what horror movies you're most looking forward to down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and let's hop into this. My number 10 is Jordan Peele's Untitled horror movie. Now, I am a diehard Jordan Peele fan. For me, he's 3 for 3. I loved Nope, I loved Us, and I really loved Get Out. So going into his fourth film, which we know nothing about, it is Untitled. It's probably not even going to come out this year. That's why I have it at number 10. But nonetheless, Jordan Peele, one of the best horror directors working today, making his return. I'm there every day of the week. I just know what he's going to do behind the camera. He's always going to capture it. He's one of the best filmmakers today. And I have to put it on this list. It's at number 10. Once we get a little bit more announced for this movie, it's probably going to go much higher up on this list. At number 9, Maxine. Now, when I first saw X, I loved it. And I watched it again, and I just, whatever reason, wasn't all that into it. Found myself dozing off here and there. Then I watched it a third time, and I came around saying, you know what? I like the movie. Now, Pearl. I'm not a Pearl fan. A lot of people are. Not your boy. Your boy's not a Pearl fan. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see them conclude this trilogy. This one's Maxine with 3 X's. Interested to see what they do this one. Where are they going to go with it? What exactly it's going to be about. Mia Goth has been making headlines for not all the great reasons lately, but I'm excited to see this trilogy come to a close. I like X. I would watch Pearl, so I'm invested in this trilogy. I got to finish it out now. Now, number 8 is Lisa Frankenstein. It's a coming-of-rage love story about a teenager and her crush who happens to be a corpse after a set of horrific circumstances bring him back to life. The two embark on a journey to find love, happiness, and a few missing parts. This movie just looks silly. It looks like something we have seen before, I'll give you that. But it just looks like it's fun. I almost get Warm Bodies vibes from the trailer. And Catherine Newton, who's in a couple horror movies, 2 for example, that are on this list, she's really making a name for herself in the horror genre. It looks funny, it looks silly, it looks like one of those funny horror movies that will probably be a little dumb. That's alright. I'm here. I'll admit it. I'll be the first to admit it. Nonetheless, I think I can still have some fun with this one. It comes out in a matter of a couple weeks. Lisa Frankenstein. It's another Frankenstein movie. A little different take. A little Warm Bodies vibes in there. Alright. You got me. At number 7 is Abigail. This might be the most star-studded horror movie cast I've ever seen. You have Melissa Barrera. You have Angus Cloud. Rest in peace, the beautiful soul. You have Giancarlo Esposito, and I believe you also have Catherine Newton in this movie as well. It's about these people who kidnap this ballerina, and she's basically this famous ballerina and the famous of a multi-millionaire, and they're kidnapping her to get that millions and millions of dollars. Turns out this girl's a vampire. What? That sounds awesome. Giancarlo Esposito, love the guy. Melissa Barrera, absolutely fantastic. And this is one of Angus Cloud's last movies. You have this great cast, this crazy premise. You watch this trailer, now if they can nail it with Abigail, Radio Silence is making some moves with horror movies because this movie looks insane. It looks like it might take itself a little too seriously. Nonetheless, kidnapping someone, you have that heist element in there. You have a great cast in there. But this kid happens to be a vampire, and now it's like a free-for-all trying to survive the night. I love those kind of movies. That's me. That's my kind of horror. Sign me up every day. At number 6, Wolfman. Leigh Whannell is directing this one. He's 2 for 2 in his last couple movies. He did Upgrade. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely fantastic. And he also did the remake of The Invisible Man, which I thought was literally terrific. I absolutely loved that movie back in 2020. 2018, 2020, he's had a couple years off. I wish we got to see this guy more, but now he's coming with The Wolfman, and I believe this is a remake of like a 1920s Wolfman movie. We really don't have much about this movie other than that Leigh Whannell is directing, and it's about a man and his family who have become scared to death by a deadly predator. Leigh Whannell, when you know what this guy can do behind the camera, he teamed up with James Wan to create Saw. He did Upgrade, which is fantastic, and he did The Invisible Man, one of my favorite horror movies of the decade. The guy knows his way around the camera. I think he can nail it out of the park with this one. At number 5 is Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks. I've been looking forward to watching this movie ever since he announced he was making it. It looks like it's been post-production, and it's looking like we're getting a 2024 release date. It's about a woman's desperate search for her long-lost sister, which falls into obsession upon realizing that the imaginary demon from their childhood may have been real. This movie sounds so interesting, and Chris Stuckman, he's one of the GOAT movie YouTubers of all time. I think all of us who make YouTube videos in the movie-related space look up to this guy one way in a shape or form. And the fact that he's making a full-length movie that might get a theatrical release, that in and of itself is one of the coolest things you can wait and watch. It's been announced for years. I remember when he announced this years and years ago. I'm excited to check it out. Chris Stuckman, I'm rooting for you, man. At number 4 is Imaginary. I've seen this trailer 1,000 times, and the trailer just gets me every single time. And for that reason, your boy's excited for it. It's what happens, like, when you leave your imaginary friends, they kind of become bad entities, and it's going to be that demon kind of horror movie that I'm most of the time into. I get pretty scared by those now, the paranormal elements of horror. Those really get me jumping all the time anymore. But Imaginary had a great trailer. It looks like it has a good cast. It looks like something maybe we have seen before, but nonetheless, this movie, like, every time I see a trailer, it just goes, yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm just seeing it. It sold me. The marketing for it has been really, really good. Imaginary friends, got some jump scares in there. It might be dumb, but you know what? Sometimes there's a horror movie like this that really surprises me. At number 3, Smile 2. Now, the first Smile from a couple years ago, one of the creepiest horror movies I've ever seen, with an ending which I was just like kind of jaw dropped. Like, I could not believe the movie ended that way. Now, they want to make a sequel. Am I nervous for it? Yes, but I loved Smile from a couple years ago. I walked out saying, that's a really well done horror movie that is creepy as all hell. I think they can capture lightning in a bottle twice with Smile 2. I think there's so much more story to tell. I think there's so much more creepy images to have in there. And I think you can have another good cast, because they had a really good cast for Smile. Smile 2, then they call it Smiley or something. I don't know. Smiles. It's crazy. Insane movie. If you haven't watched the first Smile, watch it. It's creepy. Maybe leave the lights on. Get a bowl of popcorn. Enjoy yourself. At number 2, Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Nosferatu is a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and a terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. Now, I have not seen 2 of Robert Eggers' 3 movies, but I love The Northman. I love The Northman so much that that's why I'm really looking forward to this one. I need to watch The Lighthouse. I need to watch The Witch. You have Willem Dafoe in this movie, who's just really making a name for himself and all these other like up-and-coming directors he's really working with. And this movie just sounds so interesting. Now, I have not seen, I believe there is a original Nosferatu. I have not seen it. I'm really going into this movie blind, really going into it just because how much I love The Northman. Obviously, this is going to be a complete different movie, and I need to watch The Witch and Lighthouse. But nonetheless, Robert Eggers knows his way around a camera, and I think he's going to smash this movie. Nosferatu is one of those movies that comes out on Christmas this year. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's hyped for it. I think if you're a horror fan, this is very high up on your list. But at number 1, I'm not even sure you count this as a horror movie, but I sure do. It's A Quiet Place Day 1. This is one of my more anticipated movies for the entire year, and I think it's going to absolutely annihilate all expectations that I have for it. You got Lupita Nyong'o, you got Joseph Quinn. I think they can do so much because this is the first day of all the aliens in the world basically ending. Following these 2 characters, I think it could be scary. I think it could be very intense because the world ends before your eyes. Aliens are now here. How would you react? How would you behave? I feel like I would not do well in that situation. I feel like I would be very, very unprepared in every single matter. Nonetheless, I'm just hoping this movie delivers. The first Quiet Place and Quiet Place Part 2, some of my favorite movies ever. I absolutely cannot wait for this one. It is my most anticipated horror movie for 2024. Let me know your picks down below in the comment section. Which horror movie are you most excited for this year? Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. If you're wondering what's on my fingers, it's paint. There you have it. Thanks guys so much for watching and for being here. I'll see you in the next one.